Well, Mr. Bhushan has liberty to talk what he wants to talk. I can't say whether he spoke right or wrong. What I would suggest is we should not jump guns right now and wait for CVC and let us see out what has happened in PMO today. So let the two discussion happen, and the discussion will be out maybe in a day or two, and then we'll come to know what discussion happened there really. A. B. He himself said, and all these people know that the appointment is done with 3 people in place in the team. Chief Justice, then there is the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, if there is an opposition leader. In this case, particular case, it was leader of the largest party. So what essentially Prashant Bhushan is saying that Chief Justice was in coercion for appointment if it is only Prime Minister. So probably all the 3 people who appoint are responsible and they cannot shirk the responsibility. My suggestion will be, let us not jump guns right now. In an organization, there are 2 things. Either there can be an HR issue between both of them, or there can be real criminality which has happened. So now let us wait for the time, whether it is an HR issue which should be tackled intra-departmentally, or whether it is a criminal issue of taking bribe by any one. Now, as far as the notation of caged parrot went, the caged parrots was a remark made by Justice Lodha in 2013, and also he gave one more sangya, that was his master's voice. It was purely then the condition of CBI in the Manmohan Singh era. Now, right now there are 2 officers, they have alleged each other. I think they are matured, the systems is very matured, the systems have not fallen apart. Let the system take its place.
If you just replay my tape, I said whether it is an HR issue or it is a criminality. Now, I may not be able to judge here or comment on this because I don't have access to the papers and what happened there. So, my request to you and the panelists and the audience is, let us wait whether it is an HR issue or whether there is somebody who is really corrupt, or both of them are corrupt. Now, there are 3 situations, both of them are corrupt, one of them is corrupt if there is an HR issue. Now, this can only come out when the CVC gives you a judgment or a finding. Now, I am not in a position to comment on that. A. B. We will have to see that this institution otherwise is good. Now, 2 people having this cannot be commented on the CBI's this thing. I think we are a fairly very mature democracy. The Prime Minister has a very nice image and it will bounce back. So, whatever happened is something which is not been liked by people like us also. But I will suggest let us wait. And I would also request Congress to not to jump guns, and do something which is called as immature, prematured commenting on any situation without knowing what are the details of this. So, Sulaiman Khanji actually can pass on this message to his President Rahul Gandhi not to speak out of the turn. If there a letter has been written, I think there is a procedure to be followed. The procedure was followed of investigation. And when an FIR is filed, the things are different. Now, in this particular case, no permission was taken from the government. So, the government would not know that if the agency is going to file an FIR. So, please understand this. Once the FIR filed, it was necessary for PMO to take the cognizance, and I think they did the right thing. And as the head of the country, he has all the right to meet anybody and everybody, whosoever he feels deemed right. And in this particular case, intra-departmental rivalry or a case of corruption, both, I think will be investigated. But whereas if you see in the case of Congress, it was not intra-departmental rivalry or a case of corruption of an officer of CBI, but it was a tool which was used by then government of Manmohan Singh to put their allies in place, Manmohan Singh ji in place and other allies in place. So probably we see these are 2 different distinct cases. One where the ruling party then was using them as a tool, and in the current situation, 2 officers are fighting between each other. The ruling government has nothing to do with this fighting between them. So there are 2 different cases altogether. Well, I am not in a position to take this because this is the decision which has to be taken by the right people who are there, and I don't have an access to their mindset right now or what is going on in their heart. So it will be unfair on my part to comment on that. But rather, I will tell you one thing: any institutions and organizations are flowing rivers. They do not stop because somebody has ejected out or somebody has been injected in. So as rightly said by the earlier speaker, people join and people leave. Whether people leave because they retire, whether people leave because they resign, or people leave because they have been thrown out. In that all cases, organizations run, and this organization will also run in the case whether there is an appointment or whether there is a continuation of the people. But I would like to write one more thing before I put myself down, is request once again Rahul Gandhi ji not to speak out of turn, immaturely and prematurely. He should be matured. He is representing one of the organizations. When he speaks, some people may get impacted or influenced, even if not the larger crowd of the country, but a small part of the country may be impacted by his talk. So my request to him will be, speak a little maturely. This is not a good sign that 2 people are fighting within the CBI, and we all would request, let sense prevail.